So it's gonna be a short week, which is good, but short weeks are also really long. I'm all over the place. Yesterday was literally the craziest day. I was gonna show my intervention binder again. I have people ask about it all the time on different videos. Good morning, everyone. My name is Katie. I am a third grade teacher in the state of Florida, and you guys are here for a week in my life vlog. All right, it is time to get this week started. You guys, I am so tired right now, and I shouldn't be. It is Tuesday, it's April 2nd, so it's gonna be the first day that I teach in the month of April, so that's really exciting. I don't know why that's really exciting, but it is. This past weekend was Easter weekend, and our district had Monday off, which was really nice. I think it's because we already had, I know a lot of schools get Good Friday off, but I think Good Friday was in March, and our spring break was in March, so I'm pretty sure they gave us this day off because we already had a day off in March, and so they gave us the Monday after Easter. But honestly, I really liked that more in a way because David and I served in 2-year-olds for church on Easter, so we were tired, and we helped set up. And then on Saturday, because we have our Easter service in a different venue that holds more people, because we have a big church with a lot of services, and we do one mega Easter service, so we helped set up with that on Saturday. We had Good Friday service on Friday. We went fishing on Saturday after we helped set up, and then had dinner with friends, and then Sunday we did Easter, and then we did lunch with friends, and then dinner with friends. So yesterday, I just kind of got to sit and relax at the house. I got groceries because our Publix was closed on Sunday, which is when I usually get my groceries. So I got groceries yesterday. I went and sat at a coffee shop and read my book that I've been working on. And then I cooked dinner. So it was just kind of like a chill day, but I'm still tired, and I went to bed at a pretty decent hour. So I'm like, oh geez, why am I still so sleepy? But here we are getting ready for the week. So it's gonna be a short week, which is good, but short weeks are also really long. This one's a little unique because I got a lot of stuff going on after school this week. Luckily I don't have duty, so thank goodness. And I only have 2 parent conferences this week. It's been a while, a couple weeks since I've vlogged because I was doing parent conferences. I started them on my teacher work day, and then I think I've vlogged 1 day in my life since then, since coming back from spring break. But I'm still working on those parent conferences, which is kind of frustrating because they've dragged out a little longer than I had anticipated. But these are the last 2 this week, and one of them's before school on Thursday or Wednesday, maybe tomorrow. I think that's tomorrow. And then one of them is during planning today. But these are both easy ones, so I'm not too concerned about them. Thank goodness. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. It's been a long time since I've vlogged for you guys. We also have some interviews this week for next year, because I know we're gonna have some openings because we have some team members retiring, stuff like that. So tired, and I'm so thirsty, and I drank a lot of water yesterday, so I'm like, why? Okay, so our district does or at least the schools I've been at in this district has teachers be on the interview panel, which is kind of nice because my old district you would interview with the principal, and then the second round was with the superintendent, which is way intimidating, and then you got hired. But here it's an interview where you sit down with the principal, the assistant principal, and a couple of teachers. So I am going to be on the interview panel this week, which is going to be in the afternoon on a few days. So that kind of adds to the craziness of this week, but I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's what we've got going on this week. I'm just up and getting ready, putting makeup on. I don't know if I've shared, so the last video I posted on my channel was a morning routine video. I'm actually extremely proud of that video, so if you haven't watched it yet, I feel like it was very pretty. I finished editing it and I was like, David, this is a very beautiful video that shows my morning routine and habits that I've put into my morning routine to help set me up for success. So if you're interested in seeing that, you should totally go watch it. because I was very proud of it, and it's a little different from my usual stuff. But in that video, I outline what I do in my morning routine. So if you're interested in that, because I'm about to close this clip up and finish my morning routine and get ready and go to school and check in with you guys there. But I also wanted to give a little shout out to David because he put this mirror up for me. And right now I'm like facing you guys because I got the camera set up. But usually now, like when I'm getting ready, I'm always facing the mirror. And the reason he put it up is because I wanted something to be able to see the back of my head when I curl my hair. Do not judge me because I know the back of my hair is crazy because I showered and I went to bed and it was wet. But this is kind of like the idea. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is why I'm curling it today. Look at that huge crease. Okay, but I wanted to be able to see that and like tilt so I could see the back of my head from the mirror. Wowzers. Okay, that is so bad. It's even worse than I thought it was going to be. So shout out to David because I got that mirror for Christmas and he installed it in our door. He like cut the door. It's just like a cheap hollow door. It's not a solid wooden door, so don't freak out. But he like cut the door and then fit the mirror into it. And I love it. It's like the best thing in our bathroom now because it's like so practical. It's exactly what I needed. So all of that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go and finish getting ready, eating breakfast, all those things. Hopefully check in with you at school so I can give you a little update on what I'm doing like curriculum and teaching wise today. But yeah. Thanks for joining. Let's get this week started. All right, good morning. Oh, well, I can't do anything anyways. I've already said good morning. I'm all over the place. All right, so my mouse is still not working. I think I need new batteries and I don't have an extra AA battery. So I haven't been able to like pull up my tabs on the smartboard, which is a bummer. Here's how the hair turned out. It was a mess this morning. I did not like curl it to perfection because I just kind of like brushed through it. I think it looks so much better though. Like it's not, it doesn't look like bedhead now, but it is a little humid outside. So we'll see how long it lasts because it's not like mega curls. I don't know, but we're gonna keep it like that. I brought my lesson plans over and my coffee over to talk through what we're doing today, and then I gotta sit and like get ready for the day because I've got to read through my math slides and make sure I like know what I'm teaching because I know what I'm teaching, but I always like refresh myself because I spend a lot of time planning the slides out from the get-go, which I have some videos on how I make slides for reading, so I'll link that above in the cards if you're interested in that. So I have that, but I spend a lot of time working on the math and the reading slides, and so then on the morning of, I just kind of refresh myself and remember what I'd already planned. So what we're doing today, we started fractions on Friday, which is really exciting, but it was like really easy, like 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, so things they already knew, and identifying whether pieces were equal or unequal. So today we'll be naming one part of a whole. So again, it's like 1/2, 1/3, 1/4. When it's shaded in, instead of looking at like a whole circle and saying that's 5/5, now we're gonna have like one piece shaded in and that's 1/5, which means we're introducing the numerator and the denominator and the fraction bar. So that will be fun, or like reviewing, because they kind of already learned that in I know they learned it in first grade because I taught it in first grade. And then I know they learned that again, like they go over it again in second grade. So that's what math looks like. Then we'll have our AR reading time. And then the only thing that's different in math is I'm not doing my math morning work this week because it's a short week and I only have 2 more sets copied, which is fine because I have a teammate who copies them for us. But gosh, I need to sharpen pencils. I have a teammate who sharpens them, who copies those for us, but I didn't. Sometimes when it's a short week, I don't like using the math morning work because on Tuesday, it's always like, okay, do Monday and Tuesday. And I feel like I'm cramming it all in. just for the sake of having warm-ups for them to do. So on my morning slide this morning, I have a couple IXL activities that are like spiral review for measurement that we won't get to the full measurement chapter before we do our state testing, but we've already kind of learned it and talked about it in science. So it'll just be like extra practice for them. And I think they'll be excited because they really like IXL. We have art for specials today, and then today's day 3 for our reading block. So last time I checked in, I don't know what we were working on, but last week we worked on Central Idea, which you can kind of see right there on this poster. So we read Counting on Catherine and talked about the central idea and key details. And then we read a text about Frederick Douglass and we found the central idea and the key details. I'm pretty sure that's what I was doing last time I vlogged. So now we've kind of switched gears. We're in our last week of biographies for our curriculum. And this time we're working on author's purpose. So I read this book that's called Whoosh and it's like about Lonnie Johnson, I believe is his name, who invented the super soaker. And so like the purpose was to inform us about Lonnie and his inventions is what was like the sentence or the statement that we wrote. I think I have a picture of it. I'll put it here. So then on Friday, we read our new text for this week, which is a biography on Milton Hershey, who, yes, invented Hershey's chocolate, like in the town of Hershey. Is it Hershey, Pennsylvania, I think? So we're going to read it again today and just kind of look for important details that we think details that we think are important, and we might use a piece of paper next to it to keep a running list to practice like transferring important details, maybe just finding one important detail from each page and picking out like what's the most important. And then we're going to do an author's purpose statement. So the author's purpose was it to answer a question, describe something, explain something, or we talked about, which is lemonade, answer, describe, explain, or we talked about author's purpose being easy as pie, which is persuade, inform, and entertain. So we kind of have all of those. We have pie and lemonade to help us figure out like what do we think the author's purpose is. Then we will have our tech time today, which is not on my lesson plan for some reason. Oh, yeah, which we're doing Lexia because it's Tuesday. And then we'll have in science, we're going to do a mystery science because we do that every Monday, but it's like a Monday, it's Tuesday. So we're going to do this week's mystery science, and then we're going to review the parts of a plant. And I have a little short quiz that we're going to take on the parts of a plant, and then I have a read aloud for if we have extra time that's called The Reason for a Flower. So that's like our day in a nutshell. I'm going to get started though because I need to log into my board. It's not logged in. I need to log into my computer, pull up my slides, get all of that ready to go so I feel really solid about the lessons that I'm teaching today. So I'll check in with you guys later. Good morning. It's Wednesday. My hair's a mess. It's raining outside. Gotta love a rainy day here in Florida. I'm gonna sign in to my board, get things pulled up and ready to go for today. I have a parent conference at 7:50. Oh, there's the path of the solar eclipse that we were looking at yesterday. A parent conference at, what time did I say? 7:50, and it is 7:12, so I still have some time, thank goodness. All right, cool. It looks like everything's up for the most part. I've already got like my morning slide ready. I just need to get my settings changed so my board won't turn off on me. I was gonna bring a AA battery today to put in my mouse way over there at my teacher table. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll grab one from the house. It'll be great. My custom plan. I was like, I'll grab one from the house. It'll be totally fine. And then I'll put it in my mouse and my mouse will work again. Yay. And we don't have any AA batteries. I really thought we did, but apparently we do not. So, okay, this is not letting me put it on display. I did not check in yesterday afternoon. Yesterday was literally the craziest day. Not actually. I mean, like teaching wise, things went fine. And I was actually really on top of it. Like as far as we taught our lessons on fractions, we talked about unit fractions and like one part of a whole. Cause on Friday we talked about like taking a whole and dividing it into parts. So our lesson went fine. And then I was really on top of it for interventions as well. Here we go. Morning slide. I was really on top of it for interventions as well. I've shown this in a vlog a couple months ago probably, but I have people ask about it all the time on different videos and on Instagram. So I'll show you again. Oh gosh, my camera is so crooked. right, well, I think that makes it a little bit better. Cuts my head off a little bit, but it's fine. So I was gonna show my intervention binder again. This is my intervention binder. On the inside, I have a sticky note where I keep track of like skills that I need to reteach with certain students. This is an old one, but like when I taught time to the hour and the half hour, I walk around and I use the formative assessment questions on our book practice pages. And I just make a note of anybody that I'm like, I wanna do that again with them. They need help with that again. And then I just stick it in the front cover. I have a calendar here so I can keep track of what days I do intervention. So yesterday I did a math intervention, so I wrote it on the date for math. And then I just have a tab for my calendars. And then I have a pocket for each intervention. In the front pocket, like a divider, in the front pocket I keep like extra masters and things that I want to teach or use for the interventions. And then behind that, I can't show it to you because it's got student names all over it, but I have a chart that looks like this. It says math interventions, the date, the scholars, the topic, and notes. And so I keep track of every intervention group that I have. And then behind that, so I have like all of those from this school year up here in the front, like that's what all this is. And then behind that, I put the work that I did with them. So if anybody ever comes and they're like, hey, what have you been doing for interventions with this student? I have all the data here. I can just go pull it and say, okay, here are the things that we've done as intervention. And you can tell that based on their scores on their test or based on this assessment, that even though we've been doing things in intervention, it's not sticking, if that makes sense. And I clean this out every 9 weeks. So all of the papers that are behind right here are just from the fourth 9 weeks because I took the third 9 weeks ones and sorted them by student. And I have the same thing for reading. So I've got like lessons in the front, and then I have the like intervention chart behind that, and then any like copies of things that we did at the table. And we don't always do like a hard copy for something. I like to because it gives good, I mean, sometimes I like to, sometimes I don't. I usually scour TPT to find anything that's free that reteaches a skill. I also use the reteach pages in our curriculum because that's pretty helpful, it seems like. And sometimes we just do problems on a whiteboard. And if that's the case, that's why I have that little chart to write down what I did. And I'll say, we did time problems or fraction problems or addition problems on a whiteboard. So that's my intervention binder, in case you're wondering, because people ask about that all the time. So I'm sharing it again. But I felt like I was pretty on top of it yesterday because I taught the lesson on unit fractions and was like, boom, got the groups in that I needed to do interventions with. So hopefully that will show on their homework that we get to today when we grade it. Hopefully I'll be able to see that they were like successful with it at home, because if I had not done that intervention, I do not think they would have been able to successfully do those practice problems. So I was good with that. What else? Oh, we read through our biography again yesterday in reading, and we did a note-taking sheet where we wrote like the title, the genre, the key details, and then wrote an author's purpose statement. I'll pop the picture up here. They did a great job. We really were able to talk about, we've done author's purpose for Lemonade. I think I said this yesterday, did I? Where it's like answer, describe, explain. And now we're doing author's purpose with Pi, which is persuade, inform, entertain. Because I feel like there's kind of a mix of all of those. It doesn't always fit into persuade, inform, entertain, and it doesn't always fit into answer, describe, and explain, if that makes sense. So we're doing Pi this time, the first time we did Lemonade. And they did a really good job, like figuring out this biography was informational about Milton Hershey and how he invented chocolate. And then we talked about like, what's the difference? So I was like, let's think about chocolate and a persuasive piece. What would that sound like? And they were like, trying to convince you to eat more chocolate. I was like, there you go. Or convincing you that chocolate's the best flavor. And then I was like, what about an entertainment piece on chocolate? And we thought of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and the Chocolate Touch, which are texts that we've read. Well, we haven't read Willy Wonka, but they've probably seen the movie. But we did read the Chocolate Touch. So I thought that was a good connection, and I felt like some light bulbs went off there. Then in the afternoon, I was grading. I was meeting with my principal. We had the interviews. I didn't leave here till 6:30. I went home and I ate dinner, and I worked on an upcoming room transformation I want to do like the week before we have state testing. So that would be 3 weeks from now. So probably in like 3 weeks. And I did it last year. It's a Pokemon like transformation lesson where they practice measuring with rulers, and we're going to do rulers to the half inch and the centimeter. I got it from Maylene Call. So go follow her on Instagram and click on the links, and she has all of it available for you. And then I just adjusted it to be 3rd grade levels. So I can't really share it because it was her resource, but as we get closer to that transformation day, I'll show you what I'm doing. But I was just starting to work on it last night and also making some documents for my mom, like formatting some things. And then I took a bath, I read my book before I went to bed, and then I went to bed because I was so tired. And I didn't sleep great last night. I slept okay. But I have a parent conference this morning. It's the last one. I'm so excited. These have just drug out. I've been doing them since we came back from spring break, which I think it's been 2 weeks, and I did them all on the planning day. So I had the planning day, then the first week back, then the second week back, and I'm still doing them this week, but today should be the last one. I'm very, very thankful for that. It's not going to be a difficult one either. So it'll be so nice to have that behind me. But that's the only like big thing. We have a team meeting today too, so I'm not going to have like a whole lot of time to do all the things that I usually do during planning and stuff. So I kind of need to go through my math slides and my reading slides just one more time to make sure I feel prepared, because I won't have that extra like preparation time during planning. So that is the update on yesterday and today. So I'll check in with you guys. I'm gonna really try today to check in before I leave school, and hopefully I'll be heading out of here before 6:30. My hair I hairsprayed it because I knew it was humid and rainy, but hairspray drives me nuts because it's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's all sticky. I don't have anything else to say. That's it. I'll check in later. All right, it's the afternoon. I'm remembering to check in, barely. We had a great day today. We worked really hard. We practiced fractions where the numerator was something other than 1, because we've been working on unit fractions, and so today was like fractions. I'm coming over to sort papers while we chat, so hopefully that's good and you can see. So we did that. What else did we do? Y'all, my paper tray is so full of stuff to pass back out. It's like I haven't done it in 3 days, which I guess I kind of haven't done it in at least 2 days. It's been 2 days, but I'm like, how did all these papers accumulate in here? I also have a lot of things from the office that I need to pass out to them, so there's that. So the fractions went well. I'm a little surprised at how much we don't remember from fractions in 1st grade and 2nd grade, but that's okay. So I did a lot of reteaching again, as I showed you in my intervention binder. Also, it was really stormy this morning, and then I had kids who were out, and I'm to the point where like the ones who are absent, I'm like, oh my goodness, because I just missed so much. And I'm like, at this point in the school year, when you miss a day, you miss an entire lesson in math. And when we're learning fractions, an entire lesson is a big deal. So I don't really know what to do there, but it is what it is. Then we listened to got a little frustrated this afternoon because we were listening to the read aloud for snack, and I just had people who are walking. I don't know if they're not interested in it because they're all like really excited because they're reading Wonder, and the girls like say they love it and it's their favorite, but they're having side conversations while I'm reading. And so I just stopped the read aloud and I was like, okay, I'm done. Really don't want to read our chapter book aloud because you keep having all these side conversations. Now, granted, please don't think I'm being unreasonable for asking them to sit and listen to a read aloud. They're eating snacks, so they should be sitting and eating at their desk. And 2, they just came from PE. So it's like right after special area where they get to do all this stuff. So I'm like, what is happening here? And so I just stopped. I was like, I'm just not going to read because people are just talking and not listening. Said, so we'll try it again tomorrow, but we'll just finish snack time there. Said it's pretty much on time. It was about when we end anyways. I just didn't get to finish the chapter we were reading because they're like getting up and going over to get water so they can go like talk in the back and do all this stuff. I'm like, well, you're just eat, snack, and listen. We've done the same thing all year long. So the reading lesson went better after that, but we did our selection quiz, which went okay. So again, some of them though, I was like, how did you get that answered? Where did you find that in the text? We've read this story 3 times now, and we really did a deep dive into the key details yesterday, and that was not a detail anywhere in the text, but it is what it is. So that's what we did. And then we did the cold read. So it was like practice for our test tomorrow. And yeah, I'm exhausted because we had a team meeting today, and then we had a meeting after school to plan the retirement party for the people who are retiring this year for that committee. And then I came back and I've just been grading. We had indoor recess because it was rainy. So just kind of, which indoor recess is fine, honestly, because my kids are really sweet and really good. So I don't have to like manage. They just kind of pick something they want to do. And it's been great. I have had years where indoor recess was like a nightmare because you were like always constantly, kids were arguing and fighting and throwing things. And I was like, oh my gosh, no matter how clear you set the expectation, right? But my class this year is not like that. And so indoor recess really isn't that bad. But it was actually really nice today because I got to grade. So I graded their science quiz, which was something we did yesterday that they like bombed. We went over it. I did not put that in as a quiz grade. I put it in as a classwork grade. I was like, we're going to take a different quiz today on the same material after we talk about the mistakes from yesterday and really talk it through. And I felt like this one was a better reflection of what they actually knew, although they should have been fine on the other one. Like we went over the answers. I was like, y'all, come on now. Like we either don't remember the parts of a plant, which we've been going over them for 2 weeks, and this is something you've already learned, or we didn't do our best. I don't really know which one it was. So we did like a redo test, and then while they were doing indoor recess, I just graded them. So that was nice because I got to finish a lot of grading because we did a selection quiz in reading, and then we did that quiz. So, I mean, there was just a lot. There are days where I don't have to do any grading, and then there are days where like all the grading falls on one day or 2 days, and like because tomorrow we're gonna have our test, so this is one of those like 2 days where I'm grading nonstop. But it's totally fine. We got it all done, right? So that's what's important. And I'm sorting it because tomorrow's Thursday already. It's a short week, and short weeks always like send me for a loop because I just assume, well, I don't assume, but it feels like you blink and it's already Thursday, and I fill their Friday folders. So tomorrow's gonna be Thursday, and I fill their Friday folders on Thursday, so they're ready to go for Friday to go home. I'm like, how is it already Thursday? How? So anyways, that's like our day in a nutshell. I've been here for a very long time. It's currently 5:10, so pretty late, and I stayed really late yesterday too because of the interviews, but it's okay. I texted David and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be late today, just so you know. I just like to have things squared away. I don't like to leave things lingering. And so that's what I'm doing right now, making sure everything's squared away. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna finish sorting these papers, and I will check back in tomorrow to let you know what we're doing for Thursday. Hopefully it'll be a little bit smooth. Hopefully it'll be smooth sailing. We do have adjusted schedule because the 4th and 5th graders in our school building will be taking the writing FAST test, which is the Florida State Assessment for Writing. So we have adjusted special area schedule. So that's going to make tomorrow a little bit wonky, but it's okay. We'll just talk about it at our morning meeting and then move on. And it is what it is. It just means our special area is going to be later in the day. So I won't get like my scheduled bathroom break at the time that I usually get my scheduled bathroom break, but should be fine. That's something for tomorrow, me to figure out, not today. We'll go over it. We'll talk about it. I'm finally sending home the test that we did last week in math. I was trying to do like corrections and like make comments and things on their test. And I finally finished them. Oh my gosh, it took me so long. But, all right. Well, that's all I gotta say. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow.